The House will come to order. Today's Pledge of Allegiance is by Riley Morgenthaler from Conifer High School in Conifer, Colorado, Marie Ka Van Irvin from University of Colorado in Boulder, Colorado, and they are Girl Scout Gold Award recipients.
Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You notice these things too?
Representatives Arndt, Baker J, Baker K, K Becker,
Excused.
Beckman. Representative K. Becker is present. Representative Beckman.
Excused.
Benavides.
Excused.
Bridges. Buck. Buckner. Carver.
Excused.
Representative Benavides is present. Catlin.
Excused.
Coleman. Covarrubias.
Excused.
Danielson.
Excused.
Escar. Everett.
Excused.
Exum. Foot. Foot.
Excused.
Garnett. Janal. Gray. Hamner.
I didn't even see it. I don't know how I didn't see it. That's fabulous.
Hamner. Representative Catlin is present. Hanson. Herod. Putin. Putin. Representative Beckman is present.
Excused.
Humphrey. Representative Foote is present. Representative Carver is present. Jackson.
Excused.
Kennedy. Kraft Arp. Landgraf. Lawrence. Lawrence.
Excused.
Lee. Leonard. Representative Lawrence is present. Representative Covarrubias is present. Leonard.
Excused.
Lewis. Representative Danielson is present. Lewis.
Excused.
Liston. Lontine. Lundeen. McKean. McLaughlin. Melton. Michelson Janae. Neville. Pabon.
Excused.
Pedersen. Pedersen.
Excused.
Rankin. Ransom. Ryer. Roberts. Rosenthal. Sane. Representative Lewis is present. Sane.
Excused.
Salazar. Salazar. Sandridge. Sias. Representative Pedersen is present. Sias.
Excused.
Singer. Representative Leonard is present. Representative Sane is present. Representative Benavidez is present. Singer. Representative Sias is present.
Excused.
Thurlow. Valdez. Van Winkle. Van Winkle. Weissman. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Winkler. Winter. Wiss.
Excused.
Young. Madam Speaker.
Here.
ever want to? Representative Wist is present. Representative Hooten is present. I've got Everett, Jackson, Pavone, and Singer. All right, there's a 61 present.
With 61 present and 4 excused, we do have a quorum. Representative Covarrubias.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the reading of the Journal of Friday, April 6th, 2018 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
All right, members, you have heard the motion. All of those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying no. That motion passes. Announcements and introductions. I do have one. Representative Williams will replace Representative Everett on the Education Committee today only. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. There will be no House Ag, Livestock, and Natural Resources Committee today. We've been very efficient moving our bills through, and we're probably just waiting on the Senate. So have a good day.
All right. Further announcements or introductions, Representative Melton and Representative Bridges. And members, it's already loud in here again.
In fact,
Members.
Can we get the a gavel? This is an important announcement. This is an extremely important announcement.
Members, we do have some announcements and introductions today.
All right, so thank you, members, for your attention. Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker, and members for your attention. The last few years, we've kind of started this new tradition when we do the budget of having the members guess what time we passed the cow. And in the past, we've had Representative, now Senator Quorum, win. In 2016, Representative Arndt, and last year's winner, Representative Bridges. This year's winner was Representative Catlin. And so given that this tradition is getting to be somewhat serious now, we have decided that there should be a trophy. It's time for a trophy. So it's time for a trophy.
Representative Bridges.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is my honor, my privilege to humbly present this year's winner, Representative Catlin. Would you please come down?
Be so honored.
This is the Colorado State House Budget Day Cow Time Champion Trophy. The golden calf, sir, goes to you.
For 1 year.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, I can see there's no bull to this anyway, huh? I will keep this in a very safe space, and it will remind me of you folks. You know, I didn't know we'd get done that night. That's why I guess so late. But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it so much. Great. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not sure whether to say congratulations or condolences. I'm not quite sure. Okay, further announcements or introductions? Any announcements or introductions this morning? Who would like to start? Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good Monday morning to you.
Good morning, morning.
Once again, folks, as tempers rise and time grows short, the best time to relax and get a little help from somebody who actually has the power to make a difference. Tuesday mornings, downstairs, 109. Thanks.
Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On your desk are some nice treats, some chocolate with macadamia nuts from the Christian Home Educators of Colorado. They will be joining us on Friday the 13th to watch the festivities, and hundreds of young kids will be here for that day. So enjoy your chocolate.
All right, further announcements or introductions. Representative Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I have a tribute, and I am going to ask Mr. Randall to read it at length.
All right, members, can we please have your attention? We do have a tribute this morning.
The House of Representatives convene in the 71st General Assembly hereby extend sincere commendations to the Girl Scouts of Colorado. For over 100 years, the Girl Scouts of America have been changing the world and recognizing, through the Gold Award, individuals who take action to address local, national, and global issues. A Girl Scout who earns the Gold Award must demonstrate extraordinary leadership through remarkable take-action projects that have sustainable impact in their communities and beyond. The award acknowledges each recipient's power and dedication to not only bettering herself, but also making the world a better place for others. This year, 40 young women from Colorado have earned the Gold Award, exemplifying the true spirit of the Girl Scouts of America, and the members of the Colorado House of Representatives are proud to recognize and congratulate each of them for their outstanding achievement. On request of Representative Faith Winter, given this 9th day of April, 2018, State Capitol in Denver.
Thank you, members. You can be seated, but first I want us all to give a round of applause to all these Gold Award Girl Scouts that are joining us. Members, the amount of time and dedication that a Girl Scout house has to give to achieve a Gold Award is incredibly substantial. This is the highest award, the highest achievement in the Girl Scout organization. Talking with just a couple of them this morning, one of them raised $5,000 to make sure that she was supporting her sister school in Uganda and making sure they had clean water. Another one got over 1,000 books donated to food banks so that when families were going to food banks, they were also helping the literacy of their family. And another one helped create a cancer portal so that cancer patients were getting better treatment. These are pretty amazing women over here, and they've already given a lot to our state. Go ask them what their Gold Award project was. Visit with them today. And thank you to the Girl Scouts for your dedication and service to making Colorado a better place. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Further announcements or introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? Seeing no further announcements or introductions, that takes us to third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1295.
House Bill 1295, by Representative Salazar, NASCAR, Senator Quorum, concerning modifications to the Colorado Food and Drug Act to products containing industrial hemp and actually establishing the products containing industrial hemp are non-adulterated misbranded by virtue of containing industrial hemp.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1295 on third reading and final passage.
And members, we are in third reading. If we could have your attention. The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1295 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Ryer. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1295 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 187.
Senate Bill 187 by Senators Marble and Tate, House Representative Barron, concerning transferring marijuana fibers away for the purpose of producing industrial fiber products.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 187 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is passage of Senate Bill 187 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Madam Majority Leader Becker and Representative Buck. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 3 excused, Senate Bill 187 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 188.
Senate Bill 188 by Senator Sonnenberg, House Representative Martin Becker J. concerning agricultural commodities and adding mill to the definition of agricultural commodity and allowing the Commissioner of Agriculture to determine marketing order public announcement requirements.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 188 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is a passage of Senate Bill 188 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 3 excused, Senate Bill 188 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 179.
Senate Bill 179 by Senators Hill and Williams, also Representatives Hooten and Pabon, concerning adjustments to total gross purchases for purpose of calculating the excess tax on tobacco products.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 179 on third reading and final passage.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Madam Speaker, I move to lay over Senate Bill 179, 3 bills.
Okay. Seeing no objection, Senate Bill 179 will be laid over 3 bills. All right, Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1157. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1157, 3 bills.
Okay. Seeing no objection, House Bill 1157 will be laid over 3 bills and right after Senate Bill 179. All right, so that takes us to House Bill 1304.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1304 till tomorrow, April 10th.
All right, seeing no objection, House Bill 1304 will be laid over. All right, that takes us to House Bill 1300. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1300, Representatives Young and Buck, all Senators Marble and Cook, concerning granting authority for local district colleges to provide a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing program as a completion degree to students who have or are pursuing an associate degree in nursing.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1300 on third reading and final passage.
Okay, the question before us is a passage of House Bill 1300 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1300 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. So that takes us back to Senate Bill 179 by Representative Hooton and Pabon.
Yeah, she's good. Yep, she wants to go ahead.
Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 179.
Senate Bill 179 by Senators Hill and Williams, officers Hooton and Pabon, concerning adjustments to total gross purchases for purposes of calculating the excess tax on tobacco products.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 179 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is passage of Senate Bill 179 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. And members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 47 yes votes, 16 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 179 is passed. Co-sponsors. All right, please close the machine. Representative Valentine.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask that my name be removed as co-sponsor.
All right, Representative Valentine's name will be removed as a co-sponsor. So that takes us now back to House Bill 1157. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1157.
House Bill 1157 by Representatives Becker, Kay, and Stinger, also Senator Fenberg, concerning increased reporting of oil and gas incidents.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1157 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of House Bill 1157 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 34 yes votes, 29 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1157 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. All right. Ms. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 154.
Senate Bill 154 by Senator Fields, Representative Salazar, concerning a requirement for a local juvenile services planning committee to devise a youth to manage duly identified crossover youth.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 154 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 154 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 54 yes votes, 9 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 154 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 180.
Senate Bill 180 by Senator Gardner, House Representative Weston Gray, concerning the Colorado Uniform Trust Code.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 180 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is a passage of Senate Bill 180 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Beckman, Lundeen, McKean, and Sandridge. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 1 no vote, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 180 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 14.
Senate Bill 14 by Senators Cook and Fields, House Representatives West and Herrick, concerning requiring the Department of Corrections to disclose the location of inmates who are relocated to facilities outside of the state.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 14 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is a passage of Senate Bill 14 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Melton. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 14 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 146.
Senate Bill 146 by Senators Capellas and Smallwood, House Representative Sias and Singer, concerning a requirement that a freestanding emergency department inform a person who is seeking medical treatment about the health care options that are available to the person in connection with making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 146 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is a passage of Senate Bill 146 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 51 yes votes, 12 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 146 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Ms. Randall, please read the title of House. Oh, Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1001 until Monday, April 16th.
All right, seeing no objection, House Bill 1001 will be laid over until April 16th. All right, that takes us to House Bill 1020. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1020, Representative Paradell, Senator Kagan, concerning civil forfeiture reform in connection with changing the entity required to report on forfeitures, expanding the scope of the forfeitures to be reported, establishing grant programs, changing the disbursement of net forfeiture proceeds, and making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1020 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1020 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Carver, Representative Landgraf, and Representative Melton. Please close the machine. With 38 yes votes, 25 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1020 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1114 till April 12th.
All right, seeing no objection, House Bill 1114 will be laid over. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1174.
House Bill 1174, Representatives Arden Grayhouse, Senator Priola, constraining a continuation of the Assessment Law of the Board of Mortgage Loan Originators in connection with adopting the legislative recommendations of the Department of Regulatory Agencies contained in the Department Sunset Report.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1174 on third reading and final passage.
Before us is the passage of House Bill 1174 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 48 yes votes, 15 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1174 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1241.
House Bill 1241, Representative Arno, Senator Quorum, concerning allowing reimbursement for expenses of the members of the Restorative Justice Coordinating Council.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1241 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is a passage of House Bill 1241 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 49 yes votes, 14 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1241 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Ms. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1070.
House Bill 1070, Representatives Young and Wiss, Senator Scott and Zinzinger, concerning an increase in the amount of financial assistance to be provided under the Public School Capital Construction and the Building Excellence Schools Today Act, and in connection therewith, an increasing amount of retail marijuana access tax revenue that is credited to the Public School Capital Construction Assistance Fund, increasing in maximum total amount of annual lease payments authorized for lease purchase agreements entered into the Act, and making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That was impressive, Mr. Randall. I move for the passage of House Bill 1070 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1070 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 60 yes votes, 3 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1070 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Okay. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for the consideration of Senate amendments to House bills.
All right. Seeing no objection, we will proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendments to House bills. And we will start with House Bill 1282. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1282, Representatives Lantin and Sias, Senator Smallwood and Capalas, concerning the requirement that a health care provider include certain identifying information on all claims for reimbursement for health care services.
Representative Lantin and Representative Sias. Representative Lantin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that we concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1282 to add to my further shame today.
Representative Sias.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And before the hissing commences, I do think we should thank the Senate for doing something that they ought to do more often, which is before these amendments were accepted on the Senate side, the sponsors actually contacted the sponsors in the House to see what we thought of them. So, in fact, we got the chance to approve this before it went in, and I would agree, I would ask us to concur with the Senate amendments.
All right, the question before us is to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1282. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Hooton and Representative Rankin. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1282 is passed. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1282 as amended.
Okay, the question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1282 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Janal, Representative Humphrey. Please close the machine. With 59 yes votes, 4 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1282 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. All right, that takes us to House Bill 1322. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1322, by Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning the provision for payment of the expenses of the executive, legislative, and judicial departments of the state of Colorado and of its agencies and institutions for and during the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2018, except as otherwise noted.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I move that the House reject the Senate amendments to House Bill 1322 and that a conference committee be appointed with permission to go beyond the scope of the differences between the House and the Senate.
All right, further discussion. Seeing, oh.
And
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is the long bill. And as you know, the House deliberated the bill and had a variety of amendments, and we sent our bill over to the Senate, and they immediately stripped off all of our great amendments and added their own touch. And so what we would like to do, with your permission, is go to conference committee, talk about the amendments that passed in both chambers, look at where we are with our bottom line, and negotiate a compromise to bring back to you in the form of a conference committee report. And in so doing, I believe we do need the permission of all of you to go beyond the scope just so that we're able to reach those compromises. So thank you for your consideration.
Okay, seeing no discussion. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. And members, please proceed to vote. You're voting on a motion to reject the Senate amendments and go to conference committee and go beyond the scope. Representative Becker, and Madam Majority Leader Becker, and Representative Lundin. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, that motion passes. The conferees will be Representative Hamner, Representative Young, and Representative Rankin. All right, now we will go to House Bill 1326. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1326, Representative Young, Senator Lambert, concerning a sub-report for persons interested in transitioning from an institution setting in connection with making and reducing appropriations.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, let's get our turkey gobbles and our hisses going here. I move the House concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1326. I'm not sure they could quite hear you in the Senate with that, but.
All right, would you like to tell us why?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, actually, there was a definition in there that was duplicative, and the Senate removed that over on page 5 and adjusted the appropriations clause so that it actually paid for what we were doing. And with that, I ask for an aye vote.
Okay, the question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1326. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1326 is, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1326 is passed. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1326 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1326 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Kent, please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1326 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. That takes us to House Bill 1329. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1329, Representative Rankin, Senator Moreno, concerning supplemental state payment to qualified providers durable medical equipment experience decrease in reimbursement in 2017 state fiscal years as a result of the implementation of the Federal 21st Century Cures Act in connection with making an appropriation.
Representative Reagan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House adhere to its position and request a conference committee to resolve our differences. Reject the Senate's position.
But it sounded so good.
Don't we adhere to ours?
Okay, so let's just make sure that we're all on the same page. It is a motion to reject and appoint a conference committee.
I move that the Senate that we reject the Senate's position and form a conference committee to resolve our differences.
All right. Okay, properly moved. Further discussion? Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. On the motion to reject the Senate amendment and appoint a conference committee. Please close the machine. With 60 yes votes, 3 no votes, and 2 excuse, the motion to reject Senate amendments and appoint a conference committee is adopted. The House conferees will be Representative Rankin, Representative Hamner, and Representative Young. That's why it's always good to be nice to the JBC members. Moving on. That takes us to House Bill 1338. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1338, Representative Rankin, also Senator Lambert, concerning transfers to address the reduction of revenues in the Severance Tax Operational Fund.
Representative Rankin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move we reject the Senate's position and ask for a conference committee to resolve our differences.
Properly moved. Further discussion. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and colleagues. I ask for your yes vote on this motion to go to conference committee on House Bill 1338. At issue is an amendment that we had on the House version that didn't appear on the Senate version around transparency, around some costs in the industry, and we ask for your support to be able to discuss these differences between the House and the Senate. Thank you.
Okay. Question before us. Oh, Assistant Minority Leader West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I urge a no vote.
Okay. Further discussion? Hope. Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Very quickly, I urge a yes vote on this. We have been discussing some of these issues regarding severance tax, and really the issue has been for the budget committee members to be able to plan what could be coming in or not be coming in any particular budget cycle. So it was an issue this year, and we're continuing to discuss possible fixes to it. We aren't quite there yet, but we continue to discuss this language and hope that we might have some solution by the conference committee. So we ask for a yes vote.
All right. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 36 yes votes, 27 no votes, and 2 excuse, the motion to reject Senate amendments and create a conference committee is adopted. The House conferees will be, surprise, surprise, just kidding, Representative Rankin, Representative Hamner, and Representative Young. All right, so that now takes us to House Bill 1339. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1339, by Representative Rankin, House Senator Lambert, concerning a requirement for fingerprint-based criminal history record checks for individuals with access to federal tax information in connection with making an appropriation.
Representative Rankin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move we reject the Senate position and ask for a conference committee to resolve our differences.
Just a technical change. Yeah, we were concurring on this one.
Okay. Good.
Once again, I almost had a heart attack.
Madam
Rankin.
Speaker, after conference, I move that we concur with the Senate's position.
That's the end of our conference committee?
That is about as clear as mud. So, do you want to reject or do you want to withdraw your first motion?
Madam Speaker, I would like to withdraw my motion to reject and move that we concur with the Senate's position.
Okay, I got it now. The question before us is a motion to concur with Senate amendments. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and colleagues. Sorry about the confusion. There was just a minor technical change that the Senate put on this bill, so I ask for a yes vote with concurrence. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. And members, please proceed to vote. This is a motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1339. Please close the machine. With 61 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 2 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1339 is adopted. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1339 as amended.
Question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1339 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 61 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1339 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1340.
House Bill 1340 by Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning transfers of money to be used for the state's infrastructure.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House reject the Senate amendments to House Bill 1340 and that a conference committee be appointed with permission to go beyond the scope of the differences between the House and the Senate.
Properly moved. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is the transfer bill that deals with capital construction as well as the transfer of the $495 million for transportation. If you remember, the House added an amendment that described the distribution method of the dollars in case Senate Bill 1 does not pass, and the Senate took that amendment off, and so in conference committee we'd like the permission that might take us beyond the scope of the bill to be able to find a compromise. So I ask for your support of the motion.
Okay. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 37 yes votes, 26 no votes, and 2 excused, the motion to reject Senate amendments and appoint a conference committee and go beyond the scope is adopted. The conferees will be Representative Hamner, Representative Young, and Representative Rankin. All right, that takes us to House Bill 1237. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1237 by Representatives Kraft, Tharp, and Van Winkle, also Senator Neville, concerning continuation of the requirements regarding the preparation and cost-benefit analysis administered by the Department of Regulatory Agencies in connection with implementing the recommendations contained in 2017 Sunset Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies making an appropriation.
Representative Kraft, Tharp.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House adhere to its position on House Bill 1237.
All right, properly moved. Would you like to tell us why?
Yes, so this is a sunset program for the cost benefit analysis of proposed rules. This is a really good program where when bills pass, they go over to the department, they're looking at their rules, and people can request a cost benefit analysis to see the cost and the benefits to the business community. Good program. We introduced it. Representative Van Winkle and I did a great job introducing this in the House, came through the House, you all supported it, and went over to the Senate, and the Senate passed an amendment saying that it was mandatory that the department needed to do this cost-benefit analysis on all the rules. So there really has not been I think there's been 24 requests and 21 analysis submitted. The program is working. Let's save this program.
All right, further discussion. Representative Van Winkle.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I actually asked for a no vote. The Senate amendment, I believe, is well within the spirit of the legislation, and it's a policy choice that we as a House should vote on. So again, I asked for a no vote, and with that said, This is a very good program, whether the Senate amendment is on the bill or not. It shines much needed light onto any new potential rule, regulation, or mandate. So thank you very much, members.
Representative Krebsar. And just to be clear, I'm asking for a yes vote to adhere.
All right. We are voting on a motion to adhere regarding House Bill 1237. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Humphrey. All right. Please close the machine. With 34 yes votes, 29 no votes, and 2 excuse, the motion to adhere is passed. All right. That now takes us to House Bill 1259. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1259 by Representative Gray, Elster, and Marble, concerning providing marijuana samples to employees for business purposes.
Representative Gray.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm going to move that we concur with what the Senate did. I accept the share.
All right, properly moved. Would you like to tell us why?
Sure, members. This is a bill that would allow certain marijuana manufacturers to provide samples within there to some of their employees for quality control. The stakeholding on this bill continued on over at the Senate. The Senate actually put on some additional guardrails. It limits the total number to 5, decreased some of the amounts that could be passed out. A lot of that was working with the City and County of Denver, who is now actually neutral on this piece of legislation after opposing it before. So I would ask for a yes vote to concur.
Okay. Question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1259. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Lentine. Please close the machine. With 56 yes votes, 7 no votes, and 2 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1259 is passed. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1259 as amended.
Okay. Ms. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote on the motion to repass House Bill 1259 as amended. Please close the machine. With 44 yes votes, 19 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1259 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
You can just go down the calendar to adherence. Deceleration of adherence. ready. She's going to receive. Sorry.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for consideration of Senate adherence.
Okay, seeing no objection, we will take up consideration of adherence. That takes us to Senate Bill 151. Mr. Randall, please read the title.
Senate Bill 151 by Senators Fields and Priola, House Representatives Buckner and Wilson, concerning Department of Education research to developing bullying prevention policies.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, one of the things I've come to realize in my 5.5 years here, or 5 2/3 now, I guess, is the fact that our Senate colleagues can be rather cranky when they wake up over there. We sent them a perfectly amended bill, but they got all huffy and said, if you don't go along with us, we'll take our lazy boys and go home. It was tempting to send them home, but this bill is too important. So in the interest of helping our children and because it's too painful for me to move to adhere, I defer to my esteemed co-sponsor.
Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't think the Senate has ever heard of the phrase stay woke. So, since Representative Wilson and I are really with it and hip, we decided that the original wording to this bill is appropriate, and we accept that. So, by accepting the new wording, we ask for you to... Oh, I'm sorry. I move that the House recede from its position on Senate Bill 151.
All right, properly moved. So the motion before us is a motion to recede. Thank you. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote. Representative Lundeen and McKean. Please close the machine. With 52 yes votes, 11 no votes, and 2 excused, the motion to recede on Senate Bill 151 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 151 as amended by the Senate.
All right. The question before us is repassage of Senate Bill 151 as amended by the Senate. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 37 yes votes, 26 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 151 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. So in theory, that would take us back to second reading. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar till tomorrow, Tuesday, April 10th.
All right, seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over. All right, that takes us to announcements and introductions. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, you'll see a joint budget committee meeting scheduled for today at 2. Never mind, the joint budget committee will not be meeting today at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Further announcements or introductions. Representative Ransom and Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to invite everybody here to attend the Children's Caucus, which will start soon, in about 45 minutes, up in Senate Room 357. And we will be hearing, we will have 2 presentations. One is from the Child Protection Ombudsman, which I'm sure you've heard of. We've supported, and they'll be making a presentation on some of the work that they're doing.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And in addition to learning a little bit more about the Ombudsman's Office and learning how to pronounce that word, we are also going to be hearing from Illuminate Colorado. So those of you who are concerned about our parents and our kids and the issue of substance use, whether it's cocaine or marijuana or meth, and how that's affecting kids in our child protection system, we're going to hear from the experts today at noon. Look forward to seeing you for a free lunch and some free knowledge.
Looking forward to seeing y'all. Thanks.
Further announcements. Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I just want to take a moment. We have some visitors here from Platte River Academy up in the gallery. I think that might be them right there who are waving to us. So welcome, kids. Thank you for being here today.
Welcome to the Capitol. Further announcements or introductions. Representative Escar and... Okay, Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, you have a flyer on your desk. Tomorrow, breakfast with Family Resource Centers and Colorado Families happening outside the old Supreme Court chambers. Take a look at it. Please join us if you can. And
Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I think you'll all like this announcement. This week, April 8th through the 14th, is National Library Week. As you guys might remember, the Assistant Minority Leader and I passed a resolution unanimously last year to support our libraries. And this year, we would like to do something a little bit fun, which is to talk about our libraries in our districts during announcements, if you would like. We'll be doing a lot of social media this week, and I want to say one thing that's great about the Denver Public Library. They see over 4.3 million visitors per year, and it is the most attended cultural attraction in Colorado. Love to hear about all of your libraries this week, and don't forget to tag them on social media.
Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, I'm sure I'll come back down to the well and talk about this again this week, but in case you forgot, the Pueblo Library District won a national award for how amazing we are. So support National Library Week. Thanks.
Thank you.
We can never forget Pueblo. Further announcements or introductions. Representative Michael St-Jeannet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have cleared with the Majority Leader, but I will be absent April 11th through the 13th.
All right, you are excused. Further announcements or introductions. Representative Buck.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I have requested permission to be excused on Friday, April 13th.
Okay. I presume that you got the appropriate authorization. You are excused.
Thank you.
Further announcements or introductions? Representative Willett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ditto to Representative Buck. I have permission. I'll be absent this Friday.
Okay, you're excused. Representative Kraft-Tharp.
So, Madam Speaker, I'll be absent this Friday also.
Oh, you will be? Okay.
I have submitted the proper paperwork and it has been approved, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Although we'll miss you.
Madam Speaker.
Representative Lantine.
It seems to be a rash of folks who aren't going to be here April 13th. I will be joining the absentees that day, and I do have permission and have submitted the proper paperwork.
All right. Thank you, Representative Lantine. Further announcements or introductions? Anybody else want to take the day off on the 13th? Just kidding. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I, too, am asking for the day off on Friday the 13th.
Oh, goodness. Friday the 13th. You are excused, ma'am. Further announcements or introductions? Seeing no further announcements or introductions? Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that we stand in recess until 1 o'clock today.
All right, seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until 1 p.m. today.
How do you excuse until 2 p.m.? Technically, but is that so? Is that every single Friday? No.